Welcome to the Numerology and the Astrology for 10/7/2020. This is Suzanne Wagner. Thank you so much for showing up and enjoying the little series that I have going here on the daily Numerology and the Astrology. If we add all those numbers together, you get the number 12. If you add 1 and 2 together, you get the number 3. Now, I do expect a wild ride when the number 3 shows up. It is all about the swings of fate and destiny. It is a number that forces us to look at the darker places within that hide and wait for a moment to sabotage us when we least expect it. That is why this number is called Devil and Divine. In a world of duality, you must never turn your back on the devils that you cannot see. The biggest one is always within us. I operate from a personal motto. Never really let someone in unless I can clearly see their shadow and know that they are aware of that shadow. If you cannot see someone's shadow, you can become a victim to it. If the person does not have the awareness of that shadow, then they may use it unconsciously and lash out with it when you least expect it. If someone knows their shadow, they have a choice of whether to use it or not. Self-awareness is essential to eliminating the stark cruelty we are seeing being inflicted in the world. What is so frightening is the level of massive unconscious shadow that is tearing down the fabric of the reality and destroying essential foundational pieces of our society. Such moments make us very weak and, mark my words, extremely vulnerable. You will discover just how much so, probably by the end of April 2021. I know that we all battle light and darkness within. I know that many are under an extremely false illusion that they have no dark side. But we are in the domain of a dualistic world in reality. Darkness lurks in everyone, waiting for that perfect moment to come out. And the way it is allowed to emerge is through righteousness and beliefs in superiority. That gives the soul the justification to label others as less than and allows for that soul to make choices that are horrific in any other context but their own mind. That is why today, in a number 3 day, learn to see things from 3 positions. The first is the self, or the I. That is called the first position. And in our country right now, there are too many locked in that very narrow and limited perspective. Then there is the second person position. That is when you move your energy into another and observe you from their perspective and through the lens of their eyes. You often see something radically different than that first position. An example is a person who thinks that they are standing up for something, first position, but when you look at yourself through another person's ideas, to them you look like a crazy, deranged maniac, second person position. But there is a third position, and that is to step into a more distanced and detached position, looking at the defensive person, number 1, the person observing the deranged person, number 2, and seeing both from a place of detachment and clarity, number 3. All perspectives give you a different insight and understanding. If everyone did this all the time, I am sure we would have much less conflict. Those that think they are standing up for something or themselves, but then can see that they kind of look insane, might suddenly see themselves in a different light and take an active choice to change their behavior, recognizing that the way they're doing it is not getting the result they want or coming across in the way that they need. And that is how we make a better world. The astrology today is pretty simple. Talkative Mercury is positioned to oppose Uranus. Use this energy to bring brilliant, innovative ideas to the forefront, but it can make you feel scattered, ungrounded, and with chaotic thinking. It is important to know the difference. For some, this will add more mental tension. Be aware that you can misspeak or change your mind suddenly. Some will go into full resistance and choose the path of confrontation rather than communication. The one good thing about friction is that it can stimulate us to learn more about our own minds and opinions. Use this to let your mind expand and address some new and unusual insights. The moon continues in Gemini. Take a look at your immediate environment and remove things that no longer hold personal interest for you. Expect to feel busy and not quite accomplishing what you had intended. My quote for today: when you go into full resistance, you choose the path of confrontation rather than communication. And my blog for today: people do not understand how aggressive resistance actually is. They think they are just not choosing. But not choosing is a choice. Resistance has a deeply entrenched fuck you in it. Resistance is a form of violence. Make no mistake about it. It is a type of passive confrontation. It is designed to confuse. It is intentional to make you back away and stop pushing. It is designed to stop the conversation and inhibit real communication. Thanks, everyone.